There were rumors in this town, many kinds of rumors. One of them was about a certain princess living in a certain castle not far from the town. Nobody has really seen the rumored princess. There were even teenagers who would venture into the castle as a dare, but only dust and cold air were the ones to greet them. So, where did the rumor that a certain princess lived there come from? Nobody knows. Some speculate that perhaps it was their ancestor who saw the princess. But then, it would be odd for the rumor to continue as if the princess was still alive in their time. Now, there was a boy who loved to chase rumors and investigate the truths and the lies within those rumors. As he decided to investigate this particular rumor, he often visited the castle to see what he could find there. He hoped that he could find some remains of a person lying somewhere. Then, that would mean that the princess was long dead. But unfortunately, or fortunately, no remains were found. Here and there he searched, even venturing through the hidden passages he found. It was to the point where, if there are those in town or from another town who wanted to explore the castle without getting lost, perhaps the boy could consider opening a tour package for them, utilizing his knowledge for those who are scared but still curious of the rumor. There were things the boy noticed from his exploration. For example, every fabric found within the castle was black. The curtains, carpet, seat coverings, cushion, bed covering, everything. There were also no creatures living in the castle. No mice, no spider, no lizard, nothing. And although most objects inside the castle never change unless the boy or some other kids touched it out of curiosity, there was a certain room which seemed like someone was living there. The first time the boy noticed this oddity was when he discovered one dress which should have been in the dressing room. The dress was gone without a trace. And instead, a new dress he had not seen before was there. Then, another day, a different dress disappeared, whilst the dress that was gone before had returned to its original place. The boy could not help but become curious, as within that dusty room, only his footsteps could be seen. Another thing that constantly changed within the room was the books on the bookshelf. Sometimes, a few books would be stacked on the table with one opened. Other times, all the books would return to the shelf. And another time, the books on the shelf would either be rearranged or increased. Based on the titles, whoever touched the shelf seemed to love reading fantasy stories. Specifically, stories that have magic as a part of their world. The boy knew this because he had searched for those books in the town's library and read them. He didn't dare to touch the ones in the castle in case the one moving the books would notice the subtle change due to his action. It seems that he has forgotten that he and the other children had already touched many things within the castle. Perhaps these curious findings were what kept the bored boy returning to the castle countless of times, even camping in the odd room so he could observe the changes happening while he was there. The boy tried to stay awake for as long as possible, but being a child who still needs a healthy amount of sleep, he could not resist his sleepiness most of the time. At first, he noticed how the door to the dressing room would open as he drifts into his slumber. He thought his sleepiness made him hallucinate. But then, he would vaguely witness a page of a book being turned, some books taken and returned from the shelf, the chair slightly moving, and the sound of someone walking in heels. Sometimes, he even heard a humming of a woman with a sweet voice echo within the room, and also parts of the castle if he was elsewhere. After falling asleep in the room a few times, The boy woke up with a blanket on his back on the next one. Then, a few times later, he woke up in the bed of another room not far from the peculiar room he was observing. He called for the princess, but no one answered. Saddened that his curiosity only became deeper, he strolled around the castle in hopes for a new discovery. When he arrived somewhere in the middle of the castle, he noticed a staircase which he had never seen before. He remembered clearly that there was only a wall there where the staircase was located. Hopeful, but fearful at the same time, the boy decided to walk up the stairs. The journey felt like eternity as the boy had to stop a few times to take rest. While he questioned whether he should continue or not, he noticed a glimpse of light from above. As if he had never been tired at all, the boy ran up the last steps and entered the room which it led to. His eyes stared at the single object that existed in that room, an enormous painting of the princess hanging on the wall. Evelia Caius was written on the plate under the painting. The boy smiled excitedly. It was to the point that stars seemed to glimmer in his eyes. His adventure had just begun.